tell me when we're about to go live. I didn't get to hear all of you and Okera. What were you all talking about?
Me and Okera were talking about transparency
and relationships. Very good, thank you. Because when I turned on, I had.
I'm gonna press live.
Okay.
Level.
All right.
Mic check 1.
Girl. She always forget that this is Let's Talk About It with Xavier Fox. She just start talking. She just gonna take over the show, y'all. Anyway, thanks for hanging in here all day with us on Let's Talk About It with Xavier Fox. We've had some great conversations with Okera and Khalid. We talked about transparency. We've talked about generations and how they date. And now we got Miss Gina Lamar Raw up in here because she likes to talk about going raw. Well, she's just raw when she talk about doing anything. Anyway, thanks for joining us again on Let's Talk About It with Xavier Fox. Hey, Gina, what's going on, girl?
Hey, how are you?
I'm great. Oh, yeah, subscribe. Make sure, if you're watching, make sure you subscribe or follow, whatever it is you're supposed to do on there. Yes. So I hear you were watching the shows on your way here.
I was.
Oh, and I hear that you're about to turn everything up another level.
I will. She told me I talk too much. See, that's how I know how to shut up. People tell me I talk too much. Because then I ain't going to talk at all. And then the worst interview. Isn't that the worst? That's the worst interview.
How you not going to talk at all?
Right. Be like,
well,
really?
I think you can do that.
Ooh! Touche, you win again. She got me again. Pew, 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 pew,
that's why she here, because I know she going to talk.
Pew, 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 pew. Not only am I going to talk, I have so much to say. So first of all, this has been so exciting to watch. I was watching on the way earlier. You know, it's Saturday, but I had a bunch of stuff going on. Thought, you know, wait a minute, what date did I have this? Is this the right Saturday? But I'm ready.
I see.
So
we're ready.
We're here. We're here. We're yes, in the with the heels and yeah. Anyway, so no, it's really an interesting time, right? Because you know we're all talking election season, and so some of the major things that you know I'm talking about is anything sexual that involves women's rights or all of our rights sexually, right? So by trade, I am an HIV training specialist. Lord.
You've been saying it so
by trade, I am an HIV training specialist, and the number one mode of transmission for HIV continues to be unprotected sex. So that's why my tagline is I talk about sex for a living, right?
Yeah.
Only way I make my money. I don't make it anything else. Well, that one side job. But anyway, but no, so the mode of transmission for HIV continues to happen. It happens because of sex, because we believe in our partners, we do this, and people are like, because people are out here promiscuous and they're just said promiscuity is so cliche. It's like wearing white after Labor Day. Unless, no, that's super sharp. Unless, like for, what's the cereal mom? No, I mean, like, that's so passe, right? You know we're doing it. We were supposed to all have it on yesterday for Frankie Beverly.
I did.
Yes,
Yes,
right. But no, you know, it's like when people say, oh, you should only have children in wedlock, you know, all that stuff. You know, we use everything we want to use for us and against us. It's the same thing with the laws. So with us having the first real chance, because I knew there wasn't a chance with Hillary, the first real chance, they chose a black male over a white woman. And you know how racist this country is, right? They still didn't want a woman. I think this is our first chance at getting a woman in office. And I have to talk about the rights of women, right? And what that looks like for us. Because in the state of Louisiana, just one of them, even though women own property, there's still a law on the books that says they can't, right? Now, of course, mortgage companies have ignored that law. But what people don't get is when you leave it there, that's how you
can come back and get you.
That's how you slide in and take all my shit that I've worked hard for. Well, we can't curse. Can we curse on Xavier Fox? But no, that's how they do it, right? And so that's one of the reasons that these elections are so important. Everybody talks about abortion, right? And so when women are, oh, they're just talking about abortion rights. No, we're talking about women who spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to try to have a baby. And they spend all that money in fertility clinics, and those eggs and those embryos are there. But now with these laws, with the revocation of Roe v. Wade, you can't kill those. That's abortion. So doctors are now like, you got to bring all 6 of those eggs to fruition, right?
What?
Yes. You have to understand the importance of how policy and law connects to our bodies and our personal health, right?
So
Who's gonna be the parent of 6 embryos, right? Of 6 embryos, right? And so you have people who are saying, I know that you're about to die because you're bleeding out because for whatever happened while you're in the middle of this pregnancy, something has happened, and you could die. But abortion is illegal in this state, and I'll lose my medical license if I save you and by terminating that pregnancy, right? That's what the law says. That's why we have to pay attention to that, right? Unfortunately, we talk about horrible things that happen in that doggone Law and Order SVU talks about all of those things, but those things that truly happened, right? We talked about it with Aretha Franklin. There was the rumor that her first child was her father's.
I've heard it.
Yeah, it's her father's child, right? And so all of those things are real. When you find out you're pregnant by the rapist who came into your home in the middle of the night and raped you, and you say, I want to forget that night, I want to get through therapy and get it done, the law says, no, ma'am, you got to carry that child. Now, you can give him up for adoption later, he or she up for adoption, but you've got to carry that child. You've got to deliver that child because that's what the law is, right? So people just think about abortion, and they always think about it in a negative connotation, right? Because it's just another way to suppress women. They're always like, yeah, you want to kill his baby, right? Yeah, whatever the case may be.
Then he needs to carry this mug.
Who you telling? And even in the cases of rape and incest and sexual assault, do you know that man still has a right? He has parental rights to the child that he gave, that he put inside you unwillingly. He still has, we have a child from this incident? Oh, okay. Well, I like my parental rights. Sir, you raped this woman, you're going to jail. That's okay. People in prison still have parental rights. And I want the courts to make her bring my baby to me to see me.
Oh, hell no.
Now you say hell no, and then what do they say? You're in contempt of court. Because
if he
has
wants to
a
see
right.
his baby, then he better come get it. I'm gonna leave that little mug on the porch somewhere.
But again, he's incarcerated for raping you, right?
Yeah,
but I'm saying that's those are the importance of laws. When we think that the law doesn't matter to us and it doesn't apply to us, we always think of it in a negative connotation, like, oh, only black women are getting abortions. That's just not true.
So wait,
there are more white women than black women.
I still just have to. So you telling me that the man rapes the woman?
Yes.
The woman gets pregnant.
Yes.
And the man gets convicted of rape and goes to jail.
Mm-hmm.
The woman has the baby, and now the courts can order the woman who was raped, the victim of rape, who had to already go through having a child by a man she does not know or like, and now the courts can order you to take that child.
If you keep that child and you're still in possession of it.
If you're still in possession of this.
Based on state law.
Now you have to drive and take this child to see the rapist. And
now let's be clear. Again. The court doesn't say, because that would totally make you revisit it regularly. What the court says is that the parent has a right to go to court and fight for rights. Because what happens is they say, she blinked at me twice. Right? I thought we were together. I thought she wanted this.
I had an eyelash in my eye.
Who are you telling me, bro? Wasn't nobody blinking at you? Right. You can be a serial rapist, right? And there will be times, and I'm not saying this isn't always the case, but that is a law. That that's why it's important for us to recognize when you say that you have reproductive rights, that includes fathers too. So I always say when men are like, yeah, she just want my money. And I said, well, You don't have to take care of that child. You can give up your parental rights. You can go to court and say, I want to divorce my child. Ain't nobody doing all that. That's stupid. Why would you say that? Like, what? Then help her.
With the child.
Feed her. And don't just send money. How are you not on daddy duty, right? Met a guy. Hope you're watching. You know who you are. With 4 kids. 2 girls, boys, and a set of twins. Right?
Okay.
Set of twins. Yeah, girls, boys,
So
and
one
twins.
mama?
Oh yeah. Okay, with the ex-wife, right? But now they've broken up, so we can be together. I said, I need you to pay for my kids.
He said you could be together?
We can be together. Just trying to date. And I said, well, it's not about your money. Because yes, you might have the money to pay for it. I said, but you don't have the time.
That's
I'm
right.
a single woman with no children.
Yes. Say it again, girl.
When do you have time
With all the kids,
to just sit with me? When do
You
you
not
have
a priority.
time to run?
you way at the bottom. That's why I'm dating the kids.
Bigger than that, if I am at the top, you're a crappy dad.
You're neglecting your kids.
You're a crappy dad. No, I pick my kids up from school every Tuesday.
Every Tuesday. They don't go to school no other day? Okay. All right.
I just want you to know what people say.
Girl,
What,
all
you
of
know,
these
what's happening in
great
the
dating
streets.
options that's out here.
All of
is
these
just
great,
crazy.
all of these great dating options. You're absolutely right. So when we talk about this and we're talking about the election, one of the things, one of my new, it isn't new, I've been doing it for years now, prep for Black women. I think we talked about it last time. Prep for Black women, right? So there is a pill that you can take to stop you from contracting HIV. Not gonorrhea, chlamydia, and syphilis. That is not the case, but HIV only. And so it's called PrEP. It's a pre-exposure prophylaxis to stop you from, having the virus. So we don't talk about it enough with cisgendered, like females who were born and assigned female at birth. We don't talk about it enough. And so much so that one of the pharmaceutical companies didn't even put women in the study. They were so busy trying to protect men. See, men protect men. If they're gay men, if they're straight men, men protect men.
But women don't protect women.
Just don't do it the same. We just don't do it the same, right? Like, and I'm gonna just take just the conversation. Doesn't have to say who it is, but every time we have conversations about our current election, right? What she did and what she did. So I love it because I hear people say she locked up Black men. She locked up innocent Black men. Are they all part of the Innocence Project? Did Northwestern just, get all of those convictions reversed? Or did she lock up Black men who had committed crimes, right? Then we were
in court, so they had to have done something.
Well, let's be clear, because I'm just scared to say there will be times they will railroad a Black man in the heart.
Well, that's true.
So that might be the case, but I don't think with the numbers we're talking about, right? Then at the RNC, at the Republican National Convention, was that Wisconsin?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought so.
In Milwaukee, as a matter
As
of
I'm
fact.
talking about Wisconsians,
What?
right? I'll be hitting the streets in Wisconsin and Michigan, canvassing for Kamala. Lord have mercy, I said Kamala. For Kamala, I'll be canvassing for Kamala in those states because they jiggy states. But anyway,
Did she
at
call
the
us jiggy?
jiggy, that's right. A little jiggy with it, getting jiggy with it.
Shake it, girl. Shake it, girl.
Okay, anyway. But I really did say at the RNC, there was a Black woman who stood up and was as a Republican and definitely saying everything that Kim Foxx, our state's attorney and here in Illinois, did wrong, right? So Kim Foxx let the Black man out. Kamala locked the Black man up. But Trump is doing something right. There is nothing better than Stockholm Syndrome. You know what Stockholm Syndrome is?
When you fall in love with your oppressor.
You got it.
Mm-hmm.
You got it. Yeah. And when you have brainwashed me that even when you open that door, I don't go out of it. You have trained me. Speaking of which, where's the puppy that was trying to kill me last month? Right.
Locked
Right. Because like the training of the mind, right, that says, oh, I can leave that door open now. Gina knows she belongs here. No, yes, I took her in the middle of the night, threw a bag over her head, took her years ago, traffic her, and do everything else. She knows if she goes out that door, I'll kill her.
Mm-hmm.
Or she knows if she goes out that door and goes to the police are my friends because they've been trafficked with her, right? So all of those things happen. That's the same thing as happening with elections. When you find a reason to not like two Black women who are in positions that can help and or hurt. So which one would you say is better? The woman who locks up criminals or the woman who says you don't have enough evidence to lock up these Black men?
Oh man, that's a tough one, though, Gina.
You got it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because of course you're thinking, well, it's going to be based, case by case.
Because you really don't have enough evidence.
You got it.
You don't want to send an innocent person to jail.
Yet for years, state's attorneys send men to jail with just enough evidence, right? Just enough
Well, they say
to make a bullshit case.
Kamala sent some folks to jail.
She did because she had evidence to do it, right? She was able to do it.
She had.
She was able to do it. Again, she was not part of the Innocence Project. So what they don't have is a list of people, 42 men that she sent to jail who once we got DNA and they've been locked up for 20 years, all those stories we hear, and the DNA exonerates all these men. We don't have stories like that. We're talking about men who actually did things. And bigger than that, her job was to prosecute. So she's bad. Y'all mad at her? She's good at her job. Y'all mad when Kim is good at figuring out.
Well, what about the borders? What about all the immigrants? And Kamala was supposed to be in charge of the borders. Why are all the immigrants here getting our money?
Okay, so once
Taking
again,
my taxes.
so
They got 13.
that's because the House of Representatives, which is a Republican House, Democrats haven't had the House
Well, I know
has
the
not
House
had the
was
representatives.
there.
We haven't had the representatives
Ridiculous with Barack.
this entire time. We have not had the representatives, right? They chose that budget. And what they don't do is they don't pay attention. That budget said migration, right? So they put that in place. That wasn't Biden. Biden he didn't have the House. He and Kamala never even controlled the House, right? So even with that, and you're talking about that, one of the most horrific things came to me because we're talking about, sex and trafficking and women's rights. I had a police officer. We're talking about the numbers of the people coming in and how in the city of Chicago, they've taken over one particular community area. And he's like, yeah, it's just really bad. Like, it's really bad, right? And so I said, yeah, but, they're also, I just had this joking things that I said, who you got your money on? The migrants or the, gang members? I won't say any particular gang, but, or the gang members, right?
Girl, listen. Let's close these blinds.
No, right. So I'm like, who you got your money on, right? And people are like, well, no, absolutely. This is their city. I said, them folks done laid on the belly of a truck, done walked for 20 miles or slept outside, done caught malaria, passed malaria, done all kind of stuff to get to this country. You think they're afraid of somebody who does a drive-by shooting?
They don't even stop.
They do a drive-by shooting.
Just go hit as I go.
They done had to lay next to somebody in that truck who didn't make it, who suffocated and lie on top of a dead body. These folks with this running water and all this stuff, this is about, they're not about this life, right? So I've always said I got my money on migrants when it comes to that. And unfortunately, those things are happening. But what the police officer said to me that I knew, but just really hit home and was so tough, he said, think about it. The Border Patrol and the cartels who run the border, right? Think about all the people we got. We got 15,000 people in the city of Chicago, right? He said, y'all got the bottom of the barrel because all the top, it could be sold and could be used for trafficking. they cherry pick those people, right? So you have to be realistic about, dang, that's so true. And if you did get someone, it's because they've already been through so much. So when we talk about it, I just want us to think about human rights, because it's easy and fun to talk about relationships and, you know, you were a housewife, I was a cheating wife. So all of those things happen, right? So we have all of those things that, you know what I mean? You cook and clean, I order.
Okay.
I order and hire, right?
There you go.
So anything
I do
you
that
want, right? You know, you said, oh, I know how to make I have twice in my life fried chicken. And one time it was all red on the inside, so that didn't work out. So this time they said, let your grease get hot and do all that. So I did that the second time. Now, I just had my girlfriend crying, laughing, because the other day I was like, I have no groceries. I've been traveling, right? You know, I've been traveling. So I was like, I have no groceries in my house. I got up hungry. I was going to put some peanut butter on a cracker. I have a cracker in the house.
Oh, you have a cracker.
I had some oyster crackers from some soup.
Oh,
right
wow.
now, it's like,
not a little pack. You had a little pack.
Yes. And I put a scoop of peanut butter and some crackers on top of it, right? And that's just fat girl in me, because I just was craving something to eat. So anyway, we were grabbing some groceries, because I was like, I have no groceries in my house, right? And I said, I watched one of them TikToks or something. Black man said, you ain't got no woman if you don't know how to make spaghetti and tacos. So she said, no, because I was picking up taco stuff. And she said, you're making tacos? Your best friend of 30 years knows you. You never made tacos. Have you ever fried meat before, right? So,
hey, Gina.
Anyway, clearly I ain't missing meals though, right? No, but we laughed, like she just laughed all in my face in the grocery store, and she is truly my friend. Because as I'm choosing my taco shells and choosing my taco seasoning and choosing the salsa.
I hope you got Ortega.
I did.
Okay.
But guess what I didn't get?
The meat? What did you get?
Not a lick of meat. She walks over to me and says, well, were you making veggie tacos?
Right, you just gonna put lettuce and tomatoes.
Here's some meat. And I said, what is that? And it was just because I hadn't seen ground beef like this. It was in an organic little package, sealed.
Oh, mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it was a sealed package, like
Mm-hmm.
Parker House sausages versus like me seeing the meat wrapped, right? So I was like, what is that? I was like, and I don't want that. She's like, you don't want 100% grass-fed organic beef? I said, what you're not going to do is be disrespectful. Anyway, what I heard on that TikTok, right? While I'm, what? Yeah, that's why you don't have no man if you don't know how to make tacos and spaghetti, right? So I was like, I'm going to learn how to make tacos.
Gina, let me just say this to you. The man that you deserve
does not want me in the kitchen messing up tacos.
Is not high on spaghetti and tacos.
Mm.
That's when we talk about this bottom level thing.
From your lips to the dating god.
If your dude is like, I want you to make spaghetti and tacos, that's first grade level.
That's not what we want.
We ready for the higher stuff.
Absolutely.
I mean, at least to have some Alfredo something or other, or do a whole lasagna.
That's with the white sauce. Oh, I see. What I learned about myself is I don't like seafood raw.
A burrito.
What I learned is I don't like to see myself I don't like seafood raw. So even when I do cook, I'm not doing that. Got deep fried, roll it up and then deep fried. Oh my God! Never.
That's the good stuff.
I do cook. My nephews will talk and say, "No, she cooks like we like her macaroni and cheese at Christmas." But most of the stuff I throw in the oven, right? That I've learned to season and put in the oven and things like that. But like to do all of that, yeah, not so much.
Make some turkey chops.
Turkey chop. First of all, turkey is for Thanksgiving and a turkey sandwich. I'm not eating a turkey burger. That's what
those are delicious. We got some barbecue
turkey, this and that. I'm like, hey, guys.
Turkey chops is the best thing you will ever have. I'm gonna make you one day. You're gonna come in here to record. I'm gonna make
turkey chops.
Some turkey chops and some garlic mashed potatoes and some asparagus.
You see the asparagus thing, the stinky pea stuff. Not so much.
That's broccoli.
So back to sex.
Anyway, go ahead.
The stinky pea.
Asparagus.
Yeah, makes your urine change. Yeah, but it changes the pH in your urine, right? So I'll never forget dating a guy who hadn't really been dating him long, and we were having sex, and it was protected. But yet we had gone to dinner, and all of a sudden my urine. I was like, what the heck? And I had forgotten about the asparagus and what it does. Because I don't eat asparagus regularly, right? I'm a greens and onion and tomato kind of girl. String beans and white potatoes, right? That's what I do. I love a little sauteed spinach. I ain't doing asparagus so much, right? I was like, what the? And I said, oh, I forgot about that. But I promise you, I was 2 seconds off. Like, yeah, I'm finna go. I don't know what's going on. I'm finna go get myself checked out. And when I find out, it's going to happen, right?
He was in trouble.
And right. And he was like, lady, I didn't even touch you raw. I didn't even touch you raw. So how, is it going to be on me?
Of course it wasn't raw.
Right. I mean, it wasn't raw yet. Right? Because that's exactly what we do. So we were having this conversation. So the show before me, the guest shared, just talking about, my mother, and my mother was a mistress, right? Mm-hmm. Well, first of all, lots of times people have been mistresses. Sometimes we knew, sometimes we didn't, right? I love the one woman who said, I didn't know he was married. What are you talking about? You didn't know? I didn't know he was married at first. Like, we started sleeping together, and so I just kept going with it. I was like, that's not how this works, right? But something he said, and I did say, I said, let's do that as an excellent setup. Because when he said, he had his slippers here at my house, he had a key, my mother always cooked for him, things like that. So that is a person setting up two households in their life, right? So they've got two households. Our super producer Trinity was not in the room, but I definitely said, threw her under the bus. You missed it. Because I said, oh, that's great. I think he's only messing with Gina and X, and X thinks, oh, y'all know about that side chick, Gina, but it's only Gina, right? Then all of a sudden, we get the wavy hair. So wait a minute. Yours is wrong, mine is great. Where does wavy hair come from? He done got the young chick girl. He done brought the young girl in the mix. Now the young girl, she messing around with some 60-year-old mug for what? That money, right?
Because he gotta have some.
He
got both of us. He has got to have some. For sure.
Gotta have some. Romance without finance is a nuisance.
So he gotta take her out all the time.
Hey, I can hear you, right? Like, once again,
listen,
wasn't even behind the
don't
back.
lose focus on the young chick, because she the problem.
Right, for it. Oh my God, when did we become that? Do you ever remember walking in the bar like, oh, we're gonna stop by this bar, and all the women kind of growling, like, what is wrong with her? Why is she growling at us, right? Like, rolling her eyes at us, right? We're just coming in all young and bouncy, and like, we want to come and, this old man in here. Where's the deep? My boy told me he was gonna meet us up here, right? So we waiting for the young guys to come, and we stuck in here with grandpa, right? Mm-hmm. Now we're the age where when they come walking in, she doing here with them titties standing up on their own.
The grandpa, they always trying to take care of you.
Of course.
That's what they offer you.
But that's exactly, so that's the scenario.
Chick got up in
that's the scenario, right? So now here she comes, and she like, look, I really don't want him, but he got big money, and my dude is locked up. So I'm gonna get this money, put it on my dude's books, not the super producer, but the young chick. I'm gonna get this money from this old mug, put this on my dude's books. I'm gonna get his lawyer. Cause that Kamala locked him up. Right? Says y'all gonna put it on Kamala. I'm gonna let you have that, cause Kamala locked him up because he got caught with 12 keys. Anyway, probably 12 bags, because he wasn't really moving keys. Anyway, everybody swear their man is moving weight. Everybody is moving weight. They wouldn't be in state prisons. But anyway.
That's right.
Anyway, that's where, so then she does. She gets him out on bail till his trial comes. Gets him out, got him a lawyer. Now what's she doing? She with her man. Right? She with her man. Mm-hmm. She with the old man, because she got to keep the money coming. Mm-hmm. Nobody pays attention, though, that anytime your boyfriend lets you fuck with an old man to get money for him, that's trafficking. That's the first step to prostitution, right? Like, it's a certain thing when they say, come on, sleep with him right quick, because he ain't going to give us no weed. You ain't got no money, I ain't got no money. Just go ahead, blow him right quick, right? That's how we get women.
I would
It's
cuss
called grooming.
out.
You would, because you're a housewife, right? But no, I'm saying, right? Like you even in this scenario, you're the wife. Even in this scenario, you're the housewife with the children. You cooked. I'm the side chick, right? I'm the side chick, and then the young chick because I don't cook. You
talk about sex.
Oh, I definitely do tricks.
Lord!
I swallow. See. Anyway, swallow or spit, never let it sit. Those are portals for HIV. Swallow or spit, never let it sit.
Where's it gonna sit?
If you take it and hold it, you go to the bathroom. Anytime your gums bleed, anytime you can see blood, that is a portal for HIV.
Oh, shit.
Okay, so that's why now, it used to be, oh, I have to see if I have an STD. Now you got to swab my throat because I can have gonorrhea and chlamydia.
In your throat?
Absolutely. Absolutely. When you get, what's Janet Jackson's song? What About Us? What about the time you did me wrong? What about the time you said no one would want me? What about the time you said you didn't fuck her? She only gave you head, right? What about that? Now, if she has gonorrhea down her throat, she done put it on your penis. And you coming home to have sex with me. Janet Jackson sang that song in the 90s. Yeah, sure.
Did she know something that I'm just learning today?
Not at all. Ain't none of this new. That's why I stay in business. And when I tell you I'm sorry to say it, business is good. Business is good.
You and Khalid say the same thing. He talks to people and they be getting divorced and stuff. He said all of this dysfunction that we won't face from our childhoods and all that other stuff, it keeps him in business. And he said, and I hate to say it, but business is good.
Business is good.
That's
so right. Up. And as much as I don't want new cases of gonorrhea, chlamydia, syphilis, every first Tuesday, I host a pop-up clinic at my office. Go to nephews.com, go to Monday Night Mingle. We do a pop-up clinic where we are doing vaccines for COVID, flu, Mpox. We do testing for gonorrhea, chlamydia, syphilis, right? HIV, because my office is in the heart of the hood. We definitely need it, right? And people, are infected. I have this big thing on all the sexual infections and what they look like, right? And we were cleaning up the office, and I was like, where did I put this? And my nephew was like, put it in the bathroom. I said, I never thought of this. I've moved it around the office 20 times. So brilliant to put it in the bathroom over the toilet. And then people, when men are using the bathroom, they start looking, does it look like that, right?
Oh, Lord.
Right? Or women are like, never thought about that. Because, what's the one thing women say every time they hear it's a little irritation? What's that women always say? You got it, yeast. Oh, it's yeast. I've been drinking too much. I've been eating too much sugar. I'm going to drink me some cranberry juice or some water. Yeah, that's if it's really a little yeast and thrush, right? But if it's gonorrhea, chlamydia, or syphilis, it's not going to do it. You can't you can't dish it away, right? I don't even think, does anybody still dish?
You're not supposed to.
I mean, we're never supposed to, and we were doing it for years, throwing off the pH balance in our bodies. Yeah, throwing off the pH balances in our bodies. But and I love the memes. Have you seen the memes where you show the little boy in the bathroom playing on the microphone, but it's really his mother's
Lord, that big red thing. Good Lord.
That hung in the bathroom and uses his microphone. But yeah, so the joke, I say it, and I really and truly am starting to look at some ways to make sure that I start creating, youth advisory councils again. I used to do it when I was younger, because while I do it, baby, stick it, baby, move it, baby, lick it, baby, suck up on that, click into that pussy. I know all of the city girls, right? I got pounds. Don't check out my Pound Town video. Whenever me and my girls are out of town, thugging them around. Yeah, yes, you got it. Friday night, Friday night, 95 degrees. I ain't got no nigga, and no nigga ain't got me. Right.
Oh,
absolutely. All that's true, but I'm 57, and young people aren't going to listen to me. But if I teach it to another 17-year-old, because, forget all the knowledge we got. If your best friends say it is true, because she's 17 and her 19-year-old sister told her. So she really knows it's true. So that's where I have to get really and truly create another youth advisory council. So we have candid community conversations on first Tuesdays with the adults, and so my nieces, they just started on Sundays, Sunday vibe check. So I like the Sunday vibe check, right? Because they're 15. I said, you can't call it teen talk because the second y'all turn 16, you don't want to be involved with anything that says teen. So they came up with Sunday vibe check. So I will make sure that I share the flyer and stuff, right? Okay. But it's just for them to be able to check in with each other. And then we slide in the, the STI facts, the, sexually transmitted, where to go get tested, where to do this, right? So that's just, when I talk about sex, it just continues.
I want to get back to this conversation with this young chick.
Yeah.
With this guy.
I've already said it.
Yeah,
so because she got it from her man who just got out the joint.
And so then our dude,
because we test going in, let's be very clear, in the state of Illinois, we test you going into prison. We don't test you coming home.
Oh. So then our dude was messing, he was cheating on us.
So let me just say this.
With her?
Let me just say this.
And then you
definitely stopped doing condoms with us because you done had your kids, the tubes are tied. I done had a hysterectomy. She young, but she on the P. Or the other ones, the doctor says she can't get pregnant, right? But what is the name of my show? Gina Lamar what? Raw. Because everybody likes it raw, right? So you are old such and such, so you definitely can't keep up with that young whippersnapper.
No, I can't.
Definitely putting up, I'm talking about him. I'm talking about him. We can keep up with them whippersnappers. A little like puppy, we on for days. Anyway, but the old man, he can't keep up with especially trying to put a condom on, right? So you put a barrier on, so he's having unprotected sex with her. And then she's having unprotected sex with her man. And if there was any sexual contact in prison, which is technically it's not legal, it's against the rules, right? But it happens, so we don't have condoms there. Although the best line for condom usage, we need condoms in the prison because men are having sex. We're like, men don't use condoms outside when they have access to them. You think they're going to use them inside when they're still trying to get raw? Because in their heads, I'm the top. I don't need to use a condom. See what I mean? And it used to be back in the day, make an ignorant statement, you all brace yourselves, and I'm ready for the smoke. Used to be back in the day, you from another gang, we shank you, right? And then still, they still try to shank you and kill you. But the gang rapes are the thing. Now you're like, that's the thing you do? You have sex with another man to punk him, to show him your gang is superior to his gang?
Yeah, that sounds a little off. That's
just a good reason. That's just a good reason. I ain't gay. I'm not, we were just breaking him down. Everybody had done it. These are the stories that are real. These are the stories that are real in the world for the last 30 years of talking about sex, right?
Girl, you get some conversations that I am just not privy to, but I'm so glad that you shared them.
Well, and I was just curious to say, and I think one of the best statements ever said to me when I said to a woman about she has a right not to tell her HIV status, right? She'll never tell her HIV status. That's the first thing. She has a right to protect herself. If she's in a relationship where he doesn't want to use condoms and she does, she should remove herself. She has a right to safe housing, right? So you don't have to live where you're unsafe, right? And just after work with her and doing case management, working with her, and she got her stuff together. Once everything's together, she said, I am certain that had I met you 20 years ago, I would not be positive. I just didn't even recognize that I had a right to tell my husband no.
Wow.
Right? I got a right to tell my husband no.
You got a right to tell anybody no.
You got it.
Yeah.
You got it. But definitely, and or the person I'm living with, because he's providing me and my kids shelter.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So that happens all the time. Mm-hmm. I know I've told you this, but I love it. Cook County, I worked in the ED,
Erectile dysfunction unit?
Not very good. The emergency department. Absolutely, you're right. Yes, the erectile dysfunction. Because the dysfunction on his erection was that he came in there burning, right? So first of all, when you first come in, I'm like, okay, I do not need to see it. But like they're like here, like it's burning. Like they just like give it to you and stop the burning, right? Then they're always like, oh, don't you worry, I won't ever be back here again. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna find her. You're gonna find her because you had unprotected sex with her. You sure you didn't give it to her? I know I didn't have this. I didn't have, but the best line was that middle of January, and he said, I just have to ask, can I, because, you know, we have to start asking about other partners. Like, is there anybody else? You know, we used to try to give doses. I'll treat you and then give you a dose for your partner, right? But what we found is that people were crushing it up, giving it to their partner if they wanted to, or just keeping it for a second dose. So when they start burning again, they take it themselves, right?
Okay.
So we had all those kind of glitches and stuff, right? So we still have to do is call partner notification, try to find the partners, and to try to stop the spread, because it does not show up as quickly in women as it does in men, right? We think it's what? Yeast, BV, some discharge right before your period or right after your period, right? No, it's straight gonorrhea in this mug. But I laughed because he said he had just been treated. He just received a shot. And he goes, so I'm just asking, can I shoot it into her?
Huh?
Make sure you see what I said. Can I shoot it into her? And it threw me because I think I was writing or something. And I said, wait, what? Say it again, right? Like, does she have to get a shot? Or, like your partner, if they're more than one? I said, we can tell them if you want. Just give me their phone numbers now. Say you got exposed. Now, the problem is, she knows she ain't been with nobody else. Then she knows it's you. Then if she's not, if she hasn't and doesn't think anything of it, but comes in, now you mad because she like, well, she don't know who she got it from.
Oh, dang.
But because all we say is there was an exposure. Please come get tested. That's it. When he said shoot it into her, and I said, wait, the medicine that we just injected into you think is going to be in your semen? I said, possibly particles, I could be, but no, you can't shoot it into her. But what hit me is I was looking, writing down information, we're talking, right? Because you have to know how to get things out of people early on. Not going to tell me everything once you find out you're positive. So you got to get it early on. Hey, where you live? 606, 19. What's your address? 4040 West Augusta. 60619 is on the east side. Augusta's on the west side. Those not matching, right? Where you hang out? Where your grandma live? Where you go to high school? Where you go to high school? What did Khalid just asked me, right? What high school did you go to, Gina, right? Because that's what we do in Chicago. You could have graduated from Harvard and Yale. But we in Chicago, I'm going to go to high school. And if you're Catholic, we're going to say, what parish?
That's so funny, because when I moved here,
yes,
everybody thought I went to Kenwood. Didn't you go to Kenwood? Like, I ain't even from Chicago. What's Kenwood?
Right. So yes, everybody, that's exactly it. What high school you go to? What side of town you from, right? So that's how you get them to give you information, and you document before, like, as soon as they come in, get as much information. Because when he said shoot it into her, I said, it's the middle of January. He can't go tell her that he's burning, right? Now, what I really wish, and I don't ever want to,
can't tell her in the middle of January?
his housing is tied to her. You think she gonna put his ragged ass out?
Get them
You don't think she's gonna say, I know you didn't bring chlamydia up in this house. You will not be staying here, right?
So he didn't have no house of his own.
Well, I'm just saying, based on the discussion of where he lives versus where he wants us to send results versus where he wants us to call versus can he shoot it into her? He didn't say that, but I just put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 together and made a fist of information and just made that assumption. He just asked a simple question and I had to answer it and say, no, you cannot. We didn't put enough in you, and even if we did, you can't pass it to anyone else, and it's not going to treat her. As a matter of fact, all you're going to do if you go have unprotected sex with her again is catch it again. Because see, she hasn't been treated, right? So now this is where it became funny, right? Because it's like, I know you didn't bring chlamydia up in this house, and you're also like, now who are you asking about having sex with? Was it Gina or Xavier? Because you know what I mean? Like, which one are you saying it to, right? Because now I know there are two partners. Because clearly your girlfriend didn't have it, or else she'd be like, oh, I'm burning. I know I ain't been with nobody else. Get me right, because as soon as I get home, she got a problem, right? Domestic violence comes with that. No, he's the one who's been with a couple of people. And that's why he was just trying to not have to admit it to her. And so I said, I don't care what it is. Tell her you got the flu. She needs to come in, because you're going to reinfect yourself. And if it's your partner, and all of a sudden you want to wear a condom, why are we wearing condoms?
Oh, yeah, because that would be it. You'd be like,
we got 3
you
kids. You? I never wanted to.
You was the one that didn't want it.
This is a good conversation. Okay, I'm going to say this, y'all. So all my trans women who are going to tear me up for this, I'm going to say it. It's just a really bad joke, but it's, you know, it's a joke.
Here it comes.
And it is. It's a bad joke. It's a joke, right? Because some guy's like, oh, yeah, I want to have some sex, right? She's like, oh, $50 per head, $100 for some ass, right? You know. And he goes, well, how much for pussy? She said, if I had one of those, I'd be a millionaire, right? So, like, that's the best joke, right? Like, if I had one of those, right? So that's the other part. Like you just said, who offers you anal sex right away? What woman offers you anal sex right away?
I don't know if any women that.
Oh, you may or may not have a vagina.
There you go.
See how that works?
Okay.
You know, so those are the things. Same with the condom usage.
That's funny. I might actually post that.
Like, who's offering oral sex? I mean, now lots of women do it, but I clearly remember Brock. I'm saying it. Yes, my first boyfriend. I have no problem telling our business.
You just said Brock.
Brock, not Barack. No, Brock. Not Barack. No.
I just want to make sure we had it.
But no, my first love, I went to the University of Iowa. He went to the Marines, right? So he came down to school and he tried oral sex. Now, I know I was his first because he tried to penetrate my urethra, not my vagina. He didn't know the difference. He didn't know either. We were kids. We didn't know.
He tried to penetrate your urethra with
and
his
I was like, no, with his penis.
With his penis?
And I was like, I knew they said it was supposed to hurt, but I just think you're doing this wrong, right? So that was our first time.
That's the whole wrong hole.
Wrong hole, right?
Tight. Oh,
but I was like, I know they said it was supposed to be hurt, but this is right. I was like, this is very painful. So that didn't last. We stopped. Okay, this isn't going to work, right? By the second time, clearly he talked to his older brother because, you know, you get your information from your 17-year-old brother, right? Or your 18-year-old brother. He was 16. Got it from your 18-year-old brother, right? So now he knows to find it, then do it. Anyway, like that's a safe. But when he came down to University of Iowa and he tried to roll, I was like, what are you doing? Right? Like, we don't do that. What are you doing? So lets me go to sleep. And he wakes me up to it. Y'all like, what is happening here? Whoa, right? But first of all, it did feel good. I was in the middle of, you know, it was happening or whatever. But I never thought to myself, well, where did you learn that? Until you get older and you go, where did you learn that, right? That was the first thing. Then when we got home on Christmas break, he went to the motel, right? Like, we live near Stony Island, and all the Zanzibar, the motels, right? And he was like, let's go to the motel. And I said, we can't go to a motel, because I'm like, I'm 17, you're 18, but like, we in our heads, right? Like, I think I'm doing something. I got a boyfriend, I'm having sex, right? But at the end of the day, I'm like, we're not adults. And so we go, and he's like, yes, we can. Now, how would he know that? He never knew that before. We always sneaked and had sex in our parents' homes, right? Because we were teens. Never paid attention to, now that means he's been with someone else and probably paid for it. Because he was easy on the eye. He was young.
But he's in the military, right?
And he's a Marine.
Oh, he was absolutely.
Hey.
Girl, I was married to a Marine.
Hey.
I've heard the stories. Especially when they get ready to get shipped out, they hit everything before they leave.
I know. So no, but those are the things that we don't pay attention to, right? And that was, I'm 57 now, so that was 40 years ago. So when you say, is this some new stuff? Child, ain't nothing new.
Right.
Nothing.
Right.
As much as the things I said, I was never gonna sound like my mother and say, you know what I mean? I'm like so like my mother trying to teach my nephews, and then now my great niece is like, please. You know, I'm not telling my baby's business at all, but my baby just went to Junior Olympics.
Oh.
And yes, she qualified for the Olympics. And so when I agreed to this, I just thought we'd be going to France. Not Paris, but at least France, because it was the Junior Olympics. We're in North Carolina.
Oh,
but, and I will say this in her defense. She just wanted to hang in the lobby with her friends, and the friends happened to be boys, because what I learned is that we spend far more money on boys in sports, right? Her team of girls, because she plays, she's sixth in the nation, right? Yes. But like I kept saying, why are you trying to hang with the boys? But it turns out like they were down there already, because they were in several different things. Okay. They had been there the whole 10 days. And some parents like, oh, our daughter doesn't run until Thursday, so we're not coming down till Wednesday, right? But at the time, it was like, dang. And it was just a lesson. I watched the way they pour into boys, right, for sports, because he's going to be the next, big athletes. I watched the schools, the scouts, the parents, everybody pour into them and stuff. But I'm laughing because the joke is I ended up in the room with a 15-year-old who I'm not usually with, right? And so every single thing, first of all, she was freezing. I was burning up. And I was like, well, no, she's the athlete. So I should make sure the room stays warm. I want her, whatever, warm your muscles. I don't know. I don't want her uncomfortable, right? Then I'm half naked and she goes, could you put some clothes on FaceTime? And I was like, girl, then get the FaceTime. I gotta be hot and then I gotta be covered up. I was like, get off FaceTime.
And be naked on FaceTime.
And she kept going, can I go to the lobby? And I was like, oh, at the expense of sounding like our parents, which we swore we never would, I was like, no, you're not going to the lobby with a bunch of boys, right? And so she was like, it's just all the teens that are down there. And see, like, it's not just the boys, but in my head. And bigger than that, I was like, she ain't gonna get nothing started on my watch. She's not even interested in that. She's an athlete. She's really focused, right? Okay. Excellent student, everything. But in my head, and knowing what I was on, right? My dumb butt, he's trying to penetrate my urethra. So clearly I don't know nothing, right? But I was like, oh no, you're not doing it. You're not doing that. So then I would try to let up, and I'll never forget, we went to the store once and stuff, and Chipotle or something, so I bought some extra tacos and some chips and salsa. So I gave her so she'd have some food to share when she went down there. Now she's a big man on campus, right? She came with food. And again, they are boys. They were like, oh, thanks, right? Yes. So, when we're talking about this, and I say there's nothing new, I'm like, dang, there really isn't anything new.
Except for iPhones.
Technically, you're right. But not according to the Jetsons.
Oh yeah. Yep, the Jetsons.
Okay,
that's funny.
Why did our super producer say what's the Jetsons? Now what you're not gonna do is be disrespectful. Just Google it. Just Google it. What you're not going to do, right? You better Google it. They had TV screens. They had iPhones.
They had the phone. You could see
the future. You could see the person that you were talking to. Yeah. There was no handle.
And
who knew?
That we would.
Who knew?
So I'm just waiting on the hover cars because they coming. I heard that there was a prototype already.
Well, there is with the cars because they flew the cars around. But I'm just like, think about the accidents we have on land. Can you imagine?
Well, with that you could go up and go over.
You know what else happens? I don't know about you all. Right, because now the people on the ground have to worry about do you got gas? Because I don't know about you, but my nephew was like $5. I said, hold up, it's putting $5. It's $5 a gallon. Right.
right now is in a good
I know
place.
we're in a good. We really are. I know. I had to run down to Peoria. Hey JD, I ran down. He had his annual house music thing. You know, we're Chicagoans, right? Down in Peoria the other day, and we filled the tank up, and I think it was like $75. And my best friend, because her card doesn't take like that, and she was like, "Good Lord, $75 or something." I was like, "That's all? Oh, we did good." And she was like, "Say that to yourself."
I'm saying the same thing because I could fill that my little hoopty up. It'd be like $21
Don't be a show
right
off.
now. Because
Don't be a show off.
it's
Yeah,
like
because the numbers are good.
$269
Yeah.
in Milwaukee. It's like $269.
Oh yes, like I saw $3.79, and I was like,
thought that was
free
good.
anything. Yeah, free
I'm at
anything.
$269.
Yes, that.
$21 filled it up. It
Yeah,
came on down
yeah,
here, and I ain't
it
even
is.
at half a tank yet.
Yeah,
I ain't even used a quarter of a tank.
yeah,
That's the good stuff.
yeah, it is. It
So
is.
I'm going back to our scenario. So now me and you have gonorrhea from the young floozy over there.
Do we really both have gonorrhea?
Do we?
Is that mug really able to have sex with all three of us?
Maybe not on the same day. Listen,
So,
I was talking. Khalid?
Mhm.
No, Okera. We were talking today about transparency, and I was talking to him.
you can't handle the truth.
I was talking to him about women telling how many partners they had.
You can't handle the truth.
And so he said, and he said that he actually knew a girl that had these numbers. In college, there was a day that she went to this party and had 15 or 20 partners.
Oh, good for her.
And I said, in one day?
With lube or no lube? Because that's the good shit.
I don't know. I was amazed at 15 to 20 in one day because I'm thinking 15 to 20 over
a period of time.
Yeah, like probably a lifetime.
Yes.
I don't know.
Lifetime. Well, how long is your life? Anyway, feel a little judgment coming on up in this mug.
I don't know.
But no, so even if that is the case, right? The fact that Okera knew her numbers. Did she know the number? Do you know the numbers of all the boys that were of those 15 boys? See, like that's that sexism that allows us to happen. What do I say all the time? If I'm standing at the front of the room, we're about to get married, and I've had 100 partners, and my man has had 100 partners. They say, "Oh, I can't believe Gina got him to slow down." Then they say, "I don't believe he married that hoe."
That's true. Because we talked.
Same 100
too. He said that he knows guys that have had hundreds of partners.
Thank you.
And I'm just like, hundreds?
Yeah.
Hundreds?
Yeah. So I will tell you hundreds, just like I teach in social media coaching and business coaching. All you need is 200, and then you legitimately have hundreds of followers, right? You need 2,000 to say you have thousands of followers, right? You need to get to 10,000 to say you have 5 figures, right? You need to get to 100,000 to say you have 6 figures. Now let's be clear. 6 figures could be 900,000. It also can be 100,000, right? So it's semantics. Something went away.
What is that?
I don't know, but it just ta-da, went
It's like
away.
a big pink bubble.
I think it died. It went to sleep on us. But anyway, it truly is one of those things that we have to save by the bell. Now I have to tell my numbers. Anyway, I feel like we're wrapping it up. But anyway, right. But no, I'm sorry, I did lose it. We were talking about, just what
you said the number, so you got 6 figures. That could be 900,000.
Yeah,
or
so it's all
100,000.
semantics, right? And it's crazy because men lie and say they've had far more than they had. And women lie and say they've had far less than they had. But the reality is, and a couple of my minglers say it at Monday Night Mingle, and I was just like, you can't say that, or women say, you can't say that. And they say, you can't handle the truth. Because if I tell you, and you keep on pushing me and asking me, then I go ahead and tell you the truth. Now you're in your feelings, right? Everybody everybody likes to think they're the first.
And see,
And we know it's not the case.
the thing
You
is,
got 3 kids
but
and a
are-
ex-husband.
with men, are you community penis? Like, are you everybody's?
Everybody for the streets. He for the streets.
Everybody can
They
get
all
some.
for the streets.
I just
they
don't
can
want
be.
the dude that everybody can get with. I just don't want the dude that everybody can get with. That's just my personal thing. So I can handle the truth, but can you handle my reaction to your truth is a different thing.
Now the reality is though, do you want a man nobody wants? Men will tell you in a heartbeat, this ring has gotten me more new chicks than anything.
I've heard that too.
Right?
That too.
Right? And you're like, oh, he's so well groomed. He's so this. Not Khalid, because he explained to us that he's the one with the OCD. But for the most part, when you see a man well put together, there's a woman somewhere doing some shopping, making sure that underwear is updated. Just take out the old ones and put the new ones in. Right? Like they just don't even pay attention to that and stuff, right? So most of the time there's a woman somewhere, or there's a woman somewhere that he's trying to impress, right? So there's something with that too. But yeah, you have some men who really are on it, but can you really handle the truth? Like at this point in my life, I really am like, well, no, not at this point. I've been this way for a long time. No diseases, no babies, and don't come home embarrassing me. You know what I mean? Like, no scandal, right? Like, I don't need anything that's gonna pop up later on me, right? So make sure you don't come home telling me you in love with a young chick and mess up our happy home unless it's really worth it, right? So that, that's just one of the things that I say there. But I will say, as we wrap this up, Gina Lamar Raw, we wrap it up. One of the things that I do ask is that we start having more conversations and that you talk to everybody you can, just talking about PrEP, right? And then think about voting in terms of what those little laws say, not the big thing, right? And we're going to be I'll be speaking on the October 5th with the links, one of the chapters in Chicago of we're bringing women together, talking about it, and talking just about the importance of it. But I want us to talk about it. People keep thinking reproductive rights are abortion. No, we're talking about whether or not you have a right to convict your husband of rape if he get him some when you sleep and you didn't want none, right? Like, those are all not just reproductive rights, but those are sexual health rights that we have to all talk about. People didn't recognize you can sue your husband for child support. Did you know that?
I never had to know it.
Right, but you sue your husband. Because if he keeps going out spending the money on the young girl, hello, don't forget the young girl over there. Yeah, did she wave at her? Yeah, dirty bum. She was like,
It's
right. And if he's spending the check on her and you all are trying to raise children, you can take him to court for child support. Dorothy Brown taught me that one. When she came
you take your
to
husband to court for
child support.
Y'all are
and the check
married,
and
right
the money comes out and goes into you all's account. And then he can take whatever's left. 20% of it, the same 20% or whatever, and child support can go to the account to at least bring the money home. Now, why you end up taking the court instead of just leaving is raggedy, but I don't know.
okay.
But the reality is, it doesn't have to really be spent on another woman. He could just have a gambling problem.
Right.
He could have a drug problem.
Right.
But he holds a job. Right?
Yeah.
How many people we know with drug problems and problems go to work every day at the factory or at their job and bring home $100,000?
Go right down to the casino and put it all into a machine or on
Hey,
the table.
I resembled that.
You resembled that. I'm so
Resembled.
sorry.
I'm in recovery.
So we are going to wrap it up, and I want to thank Gina Lamar for coming in and telling me about the young girl.
But I'm just
I would
saying.
never know.
You know what? And I really was going to make sure I talked about PrEP and voting and
you did.
reproductive rights. I wanted to make sure I said that. But when I heard the show before it, and then you talked about transparency,
Yes.
it just is a perfect lead up. You talk about transparency, people aren't going to be transparent. You talk about marriage and relationships and how they didn't make it because they weren't transparent about the fact that they never got over their mother leaving the family or whatever, right? But all of that feeds into how I keep a good job because people just don't want to deal with those things. They want to have sex raw and keep on spreading the love.
And you know what? Ever since meeting Gina, I have not had sex raw.
But you can.
I
as
can't
long as
wait
you're
until
prepped. Right, I know.
that right
I
dude
know.
comes.
I know.
That I can, and you know what? I think because I already have trust issues anyway. But I think I'm gonna have an issue. What you looking at?
A cat that I didn't recognize is in the house.
Oh, girl, I was looking at your eyes like, what the hell?
You saw that, right? Because you see me.
Because I was gonna run that way.
Yes, I know.
You had one more second to say something, and I was out of here. I'm gonna leave y'all.
Right.
Anyway, the show was gonna be over real quick. Anyway, we're gonna wrap it up with Gina Lamar Raw. And until next month, make sure that you subscribe, follow, friend, do all of that stuff. We're on Instagram, XFox Entertainment, YouTube, XFox on the Box. You can go to the website, XavierFox.com, and you can find the links to everything on there. That's your one-stop shop to get all of the info. And you can catch some of the older shows that you may have missed. So until next month, every third Saturday, stay safe and be prosperous, and we're out.